In this installment, we're going to be going over week 4 of the NFL DFS slate on Draftkings. Let's get into it. Hey, yo! Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for our week 4 NFL DFS slate on Draftkings. But before I deep dive into this very, very intriguing slate, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetShetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about the Patreon. Guys, we are at the homepage right now of the YouTube. We are currently at 1.42. We have risen here, 1.42 subscribers. All right, let's get to our goal of 2K. Let's continue to push that number past 1.42 to 1.43 and so on and so forth. I appreciate you guys. If you guys are viewers and not currently subscribers, just go ahead and click that subscribe button, and don't be shy to leave a comment of how you feel about certain players or just any ideas that you have for the particular slate that I go through in each and every video. And we had very good responses in this Thursday night football video there. I appreciate everyone that commented down below. Let's continue that fire. And as you can see, guys, I've been telling you to join the Patreon. As you can see, the main play for Thursday Night Football was the Detroit Lions money line. I was able to put a boost on this in particular bet here of the Lions straight up with the money line. They came through. They dismantled the Green Bay Packers, won by 14 points. So if you want more winning bets, go to that link down below. Sign up for the Patreon right now. The first position, guys, we're going to start off with will be that quarterback position here. We're going to look at the top guys right now. Obviously, Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa, those are going to be the guys most eyes are going to be on. This is an in-division matchup. Usually, the games between these, between Miami and Buffalo are pretty ugly. I'm going to temper expectations down just a tad on those two guys. And I'm going to be a little bit contrarian. I'm going to go away from Josh Allen if you want to pay all the way up for 8,200, because he's been pretty average this year. If you're just looking at his numbers, 13, 23, 22. Where's the 30-point outburst from Josh Allen? I'm sure that's sure to come. But in this particular week 4, I'm going to be leaning towards Jalen Hurts as one of my favorite quarterback options on this slate. Not a lot of people gearing that way. A lot of people are just sticking to the eyes. Oh, they're stuck on Miami, scored 70 points with Tua Tagovailoa. Bills got things going against a very kick-up matchup last week as well, and that's what they're gearing towards. I'm going to go with someone that's super reliable and has huge upside, especially in the red zone area with the push-tush. Jalen Hurts has huge upside throwing the football and rushing the football as well. We're still waiting on the A.J. Brown touchdown. That's one touchdown we're waiting for. We're waiting for a Dallas Goedert touchdown. I expect a very explosive game here from the Philadelphia Eagles passing-wise. They've been getting away with running the football on teams, but the Commanders are a decent enough run defense here where I think they can stop that and force Jalen Hurts to fling the ball just a little bit more, get Hurts out of the pocket, and that's where he can create and become very dangerous. All right, like him against the Washington Commanders. If we look at his past history against this in particular team here, we have 3 out of the last 5 games over 20 fantasy points. In 2 of those games, damn near 30 fantasy points in each of those games. Okay, so we got some nice upside here with Jalen Hurts going against the Commanders. The next quarterback we're going to be looking towards will be Justin Herbert against the Las Vegas Raiders here. The Raiders looked pretty poor last week, giving up a ton of yardage, and now we get an air raid offense here, and Kellen Moore up-tempo pace. Justin Herbert not scared to throw the football, and this is going to be even without Mike Williams. Justin Herbert's not going to be shy. They're going to be tossing that ball up and down the fields here, and I love Herbert. Yet again, I see another spot where he has the potential to have another 30-point outing. He did it against Minnesota. He had 25 against Tennessee, and more of a rushing game in week 1. But since there is no Austin Eckler here, there's going to be more linked on the shoulders of Justin Herbert. That's why I like him this week. I liked his upside between 25 to even 30 fantasy points going up against a very nice matchup here in the Raiders. And hey, Garoppolo is going to sling the ball just enough to keep this interesting. He has nice weapons on the other side of the football of Devonta Adams and Jacoby Myers. So like Herbert as our number 2 option there at quarterback. The next guys we're going to be looking at is going to be in this game. All right, we're going to finish off the quarterback position between these 2 guys of Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Justin Fields, number 1. We get an opponent against the Denver Broncos defense. Woo! All right, excuse me, man. We get an opponent against the Denver Broncos defense here. Justin Fields, 6,600. Yes, I get it. All the hate, all the subpar outings, all the poor performances. But he's still kind of getting you there. 16 fantasy points in week 1 and week 2. Poor outing in week 3. But this should be a perfect bounce back spot. The main key component here is if the Bears can get the running game going. We'll talk about that very soon, but that's going to help things with Justin Fields, open things up. The only thing that can help him is obviously time in the pocket, and obviously a threat with running the football. They keep getting down in games and not be able to run the football, and everything becomes very obvious, and it just makes things worse for Justin Fields. They need to get that run game going, and that's going to help him here, and then we can get the rushes as well. All right, that they need to go back to rushing the football with Justin Fields. All right, so I like him in this matchup. Obviously, Denver Broncos, poor defense, and we got a very explosive quarterback. Do not shy away from Justin Fields in week 4. All right, next guy obviously will be Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is cooking right now. All right, the only good thing right now for the Broncos is this offense. This offense can put up enough points. Okay, the defense needs to come around. I don't know how long that's going to take, but Russell Wilson is not the problem. All right, 30 fantasy points against Washington. He had an okay performance against the Raiders, and then against Miami, that was just a poor outing because of the defense yet again, but he still threw for over 300 yards. So we have 2 games in a row of Russell Wilson over 300 yards. You wish you had that last season under Nathaniel Hackett. Now you get it here. We're going to keep riding this Russell Wilson boat. I feel like he's back and confident. He's got all his weapons healthy. And now you got guys like Mims coming out of nowhere. And he is a very bright, young rookie that they have as well. So I'm liking everything for the Broncos side of the football and everything on the Chicago side of the football. So definitely go towards and build lineups with both of these quarterbacks in this game. This has a lot of potential. Let's move on to the running back position. Next up, we have the running back position. And obviously, I was going to start at the top. We got Christian McCaffrey here, 9,200. We don't need to say that this is a great matchup, all right? This is the Arizona Cardinals. Yes, they've been playing tough, but this is probably his best matchup all year long. I definitely expect Christian McCaffrey another set of over 20 touches, obviously receiving and rushing the football, getting in the end zone as well. This is a very good spot for CMC yet again. Obviously, this is a higher price tag that you have to pay for. That you have to be mindful about when you're doing your stacks if you want to fit in Christian McCaffrey. All right, we got to have punt plays, and that's where when we go into the wide receiver position, where you can lean on the wide receiver 3s. Okay, if you're spending up at certain positions and you still want, access to these high upside games here and these high upside totals, you can go towards the wide receiver 2s and wide receiver 3s. You do not have to pay for the wide receiver 1s, and you still get access in a game you want. So you have some upside in those lineups if you pay up at certain spots. All right, just so you guys know. All right, next guy we'll be talking about will be Derrick Henry at $7,000 in salary. We've had two okay performances and one bad performance against Cleveland. Cleveland has looked outstanding this whole entire season so far, the first 3 weeks against the running backs. Derrick Henry has already came out and said he's going to be highly motivated in this particular matchup here against Cincinnati after watching his box score against Cleveland. So when the big man, the King Henry, says he's going to turn things up, expect that here. A lot of guys are already counting him out. because of the emergence of Tajay Spears. The fact that they're splitting carries is what really is the talk of the town right now. But do not count out Derrick Henry. This could be a super sleeper here in week 4 at this price of $7,000 in salary. I would not be surprised if this is a very close game and they lean on Derrick Henry. They need to. So the only way the Tennessee Titans are going to have a chance to win is if they give this man the ball and he executes. And also, right now, the Cincinnati Bengals, if we're going off numbers, what they've been doing against running backs, if we just go down just a little bit here, the key component here, they have been allowing 94 yards a game to the running back position and 4.4 yards per carry, all right? This is a guy here in Derrick Henry that averages 5 easily in his sleep. They have not faced him, all right, in this offensive line here. So I like Derrick Henry in week 4. Very contrarian play. A lot of people are just going to skip right past that. Definitely has some upside in week 4, right? The next guy we're going to be going towards will be Alexander Mattison here at $5,800 in salary. Cam Akers, I get it. They did trade for him, but this means that Alexander Mattison had to put things to work, all right? He had a fire under his behind, and you saw him have his best game of the season. 20 carries, 93 yards, a nice average of 4.7. He also chipped in with 5 receptions, 7 targets, 32 yards as well. All right. I like him this week yet again against Carolina. It's one of the weak spots of the Carolina Panthers here. They're pretty decent stopping the pass. But against opposing running backs right now, these Carolina Panthers, if we're looking at the numbers, are currently 3rd worst in the league, 30th overall, 30th in the red zone, giving up over 100 yards rushing and 4.6 yards per carry. So that's why I'm leaning towards Alexander Mattison here. We still have Cam Akers trying to get up to speed, and I don't see him getting work until Alexander Mattison makes a mistake, probably fumbles once or twice, and then they can probably look towards Cam Akers, who they traded for, okay? So I like him at this price at $5,800 in salary. The next guy we're going to be going towards at the running back position, will be Joshua Kelly at $5,300. Now, this is a spot here where everyone, they were on Kelly in week 2, gave him 3 fantasy points. They were definitely like, you know what, we're going to try one more time. This is a very good game here. A lot of a very high point total. And he came through another poor performance of 2.7. Joshua Kelly is not that bad. We saw a nice Joshua Kelly in the preseason and in week 1. He is better than what we saw the past 2 weeks. And I think this is the perfect matchup here against these Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders against opposing running backs are 22nd overall, 22nd in the red zone. Over 120 yards a game allowed to the running back position, 4.7 yards a carry. They're giving up almost 7 receptions as well. This is a very sneaky spot. Everyone has given up on him at 5,300. Love Joshua Kelly here to get a little bit contrarian, all right? So we'll throw him in this mix that we have right now of running back. I have 2 more guys for you. The first one, and we're going to go to that Denver game. We're sticking with the Denver-Chicago game. I want everything I can get in there because this has a lot of potential, all right? The guy we're going to be talking about is Javonte Williams, 5,500 here. He's kind of splitting carries. This is only the problem about Javonte Williams. It's between Javonte Williams, it's between Samaje Perine and Jaleel McLaughlin. They got another guy in this running back room as well who's been getting touches. We got McLaughlin. Where's the other guy? Javonte, Perine, and they've been getting Burton some touches too. So I don't know what Sean Payton's doing right now, but the guy that's getting the touches first is going to be Javonte. He's going to need to execute on these opportunities. He's getting at least double digit each and every game. You're getting around 15 touches. He's going to have to be highly efficient, get in the end zone for him to pay off this price at 5,500. But this is a very good spot here against the Chicago Bears. The guy who's in a better position, and I would really like to have a little bit more, and he's a perfect punt play, is Khalil Herbert. I told you guys that the way you help Justin Fields is rush the football, and this guy is the key component. We saw very explosive games from Khalil Herbert last season, and it's the right reason why he was the number 1 running back winning the job in the offseason, all right? We've yet to see him have a big game, this will be the game. We already seen how bad the Denver run D is, and this is a perfect opportunity for Khalil Herbert to surprise guys this week. He's going to be my favorite play at running back. Is it because of price? Yes. Is it because of matchup? Hell yes. So definitely play Khalil Herbert this week in week 4. Let's move on to the wide receivers. Now on to the wide receivers here, and we know how we do things. We pair with the quarterback that we already talked about in the first part. So the first quarterback we talked about was Jalen Hurts, and that means we're going to be rolling with his boys. And the perfect thing about Philadelphia is here, we got a nice little funnel here of targets. We know it's going to be A.J. Brown here at 7,700. He finally turned up 9 receptions, 14 targets, 131 yards. Still didn't get in zone. Still did not get it in the end zone. It's going to come. So we're just going to hammer that each and every week. That's definitely a prop. You go towards 100% cash in because the odds are going to get higher and higher. And matter of fact, do that and take him to score the first touchdown, okay? We're doing that each and every week until he gets it. I'm telling you, it's going to cash. Watch, all right? So love A.J. Brown here. He got more targets. Now he just needs to get in the end zone. He literally dropped 3 touchdowns last week. I think that was some BS. He kind of did on. It was stupid. He had the ball in his hand 3 different times. It could have came down with a touchdown. Did not. All right. And then the number 2 guy is Devonta Smith here for the Philadelphia Eagles. 4 receptions, 5 targets, 28 yards. Got touchdowns in the first 2 weeks. It is A.J. Brown's turn. Okay. Let's just be 100% about that. But love both of those guys. Quez Watkins is out. And then the third guy will be Olamide Zaccheaus, but you do not have to go that far. Okay. Definitely going to be other punt plays you can go that are going to provide you higher upside than Zaccheaus. All right. The next stack we're going to be going towards will be Justin Herbert in the Los Angeles Chargers here. And we got our favorite boy. Mike Williams is out. Keenan Allen will come out to play. He is now probably has risen to a top 5 fantasy wide receiver easily. All right. The amount of targets this man is going to see and the amount of catches he's going to get is going to be absolutely insane. The way Kellen Moore is scheming him open, absolutely fantastic for Keenan Allen this season at this price of 7,900. He had an absolutely phenomenal day last week. If we can get this stat sheet going, I want to show you what he has done, but we'll wait until that finally pops up. Other guys, since Mike Williams is out, they have Joshua Palmer here at $4,000 in salary. He's going to be that slot, other intermediate type of wide receiver. Hopefully he can get some upside, catching some touchdowns, but he's going to get receptions as well. And then the explosive guy is going to be the rookie. They obviously slowed his work into the offense, and now they're going to have to thrust him. He's going to be full bore here with Mike Williams out. They're going to need to rely on Quentin Johnston as a number 3 wide receiver, okay? Let me see if I can refresh this, guys, for you so we can get this going. Before we go to Fields, I wanted you to see this. I wanted you to see this because I couldn't believe it. Keenan Allen, 18 receptions, 20 targets, 215 yards. No touchdowns, but who cares? You don't even need the touchdowns when the man is going off like this. And now he's the clear-cut focal point of this offense. Love Keenan Allen, all right? Love Keenan Allen. Now, on to the field stack. We're going right to that Denver and Chicago game. We're going to be all over these wide receivers in this game. Obviously, the first one we're going to talk about is going to be DJ Moore. DJ Moore has been getting there, okay? Despite the fact that all the struggles with the Chicago Bears. We've had back-to-back double-digit fantasy point games from DJ Moore. 19 against Tampa Bay, 13 against Kansas City. Now, this one should be the big one here against Denver. I'm expecting another touchdown game for DJ Moore and probably over 100 yards. So DJ Moore is a smash play, especially at this salary, $5,600. You can have a totally different stack. Throw in DJ Moore and bring it back with a Denver player. Get access to this game and have a whole entire other stack. Maybe you want to go with Jalen Hurts in that stack. You can still go with the Chicago Bears and Denver here and get really, really creative. So love DJ Moore at $5,600. It's tough to like another wide receiver on Chicago, but Darnell Mooney will be the second option. Darnell Mooney had a big game in week 1 where he had 4 for 53 and a touchdown. But if you feeling froggy, this is the opportunity for him to have another good game here against the Denver Broncos. So I can go towards him at 4,100 as well. On the other side, for Denver and Russell Wilson, his pairings, we have Jerry Jeudy. He's been very decent. He just got back. Let's not put a whole bunch on him, all right? First game, he only got 5 targets. Second game, bounced back, had 13 fantasy points there. You want to see him get in the end zone, but you saw 7 targets, 81 yards, very solid. But right now, the number 1 wide receiver for this offense is going to be Courtland Sutton. 11 targets last week against Miami, 8 for 11 for 91 and 1 TD. Obviously, he got a little bit aggressive here. They were in a predicament where they needed to try to make any play, and that's why Courtland Sutton had 2 fumbles in that game. That's understandable. But here, he has been looking like the guy down the field, stretching the field, coming up with big catches. He already has 2 touchdowns already this year, 21 fantasy points last week. Love him against Chicago, especially with no Eddie Jackson in that secondary. Courtland Sutton should be having a very nice day yet again at 5,300. A lot of cheap wide receivers here. And then the third guy we're going to look towards, a punt play, a flex that you can go towards, will be Marvin Mims. This man is absolutely explosive here. We've had big catches from him in week 2. He had a 60-yard catch. Week 3 he had a 38-yard catch. 3 for 73. He also chipped in a couple rushes the last 2 weeks. This man was a perfect pick, handpicked by Sean Payton. That's why you see him popping off. And he's going to obviously be moved up as that number 3 wide receiver because of his capabilities, which he's shown so far already in this year. He's looking like a prized possession here. He could emerge as the number 1 wide receiver in this offense, okay? Jerry Jeudy hasn't really done anything. Courtland right now looks pretty solidified, but Sean Payton's guy is Marvin Mims. They traded up for him, all right? Like him at 3,900. Some one-off plays that you can go towards. Obviously, Puka Nacua of the Rams is going to be your last chance. Not 100% last chance, but Cooper Kupp is going to be right around the corner, and we're going to take advantage of Puka Nacua, of full access Puka Nacua. This is talking about double-digit targets here easily. So I want to go back to the well against the Indianapolis Colts, who have been giving up a ton of yards to opposing quarterbacks and wide receivers like him at 6,700. Another one-off play will be Nico Collins. Obviously, Tank Dell has been solid with Houston, but the number 1 wide receiver on this team is Nico Collins. We had a great performance from him against Baltimore, 14 fantasy points. And then Indianapolis, like I told you, Puka Nacua. Nico Collins against that very same team, 30.6 in that game. Well over 100 yards and a TD. Love Nico Collins, big body wide receiver. Perfect size speed combination, okay? And then last but not least, our last one off will be San Francisco, Brandon Ayuk, all right? Week 1, he went bananas. Week 2, got a little bit injured in that game, missed week 3, and now you got Brandon Ayuk back and healthy. We got a big question mark on Deebo Samuel. So these guys are like taking turns right now, being in and out. But Brandon Ayuk will be the main guy here for San Fran. He's the number 1 wide receiver. I'm sorry to tell you, that's fact. He's looking outstanding, and I love him at 6,200 as a one-off play. Let's go on to the tight ends. Last but not least, we have the tight end position here. Starting off at the top, TJ Hockenson in a very good match. It's an okay matchup, okay? Obviously, hopefully, Carolina focuses in on Justin Jefferson and lets TJ Hockenson get cooking. If you want to pay up for him at 6,500, fine by me. Obviously, he's been the most reliable tight end this whole entire season. So that's why you pay up for TJ Hockenson. He's been the most trustworthy. Doesn't go under double-digit fantasy points here. And if he gets in the end zone, you're looking at a very, very explosive day, okay? Love Minnesota here in this game. And I like TJ Hockenson at his price at 6,500. Mark Andrews against the Cleveland Browns. It's a big mixed bag in the history of Mark Andrews and this team here. So if we go on his whole entire career against these Cleveland Browns, we got a 2.6, a 9.4. But then we have great games, 27, 22, 31. But the past 2 outings, a 6.1 and a 0.4. So the way this defense has been playing in Cleveland, you can kind of lean towards him having another poor performance, but he is the number 1 option on this offense right now. And hey, If you're willing to pay that price of 5,400, which this is an in-division game, could be an ugly matchup, I might lean more away from Mark Andrews. So let's go to some guys that we do like, all right? The first guy will be Taysom Hill. The key component here with Taysom Hill, this can have some huge upside, all right? No Derek Carr. They're going to be leaning on Jameis Winston, and expect some Taysom Hill package. That Taysom Hill package is going to be very important here. And he's going to be rushing the football. They're going to be very creative, throwing the football with him as well. And you can have a big game from Taysom Hill. He's relentless running that football. Obviously, Kamara's going to be back. They're going to work him in slowly, but I expect Taysom Hill to have a explosive day. When you get these opportunities of no quarterback, watch out. Taysom Hill usually goes off. We've seen it so many times last year. Do not be surprised in popping off a 30-yard touchdown run or throwing a TD. Taysom Hill is very explosive, like him at 4,500. The next guy we're going to be going towards at the tight end position will be Pat Freiermuth of the Pittsburgh Steelers here in a prime matchup against these Houston Texans. This is one of the main holes of the Texans. Texans have been solid all the way around, but what they've been giving up to opposing teams is fantasy points to the tight end. 31st overall, 31st in the red zone, giving up 8 catches a game, 80 yards, and about a TD a game as well. And that bodes very well for our man here in Pat Freiermuth, who has some high upside here coming out in the offseason, has yet to pick things up, did solidly in week 3. We saw 3 receptions, 41 yards, and a touchdown here. Love Pat Freiermuth in this game to have another strong outing against the Houston Texans, especially at that price, all right? And then 2 more guys for you. We have Gerald Everett, all right? We're going to continue with this Charger stack here, and this is a guy that's going to be the beneficiary here with Mike Williams out. This is going to involve Gerald Everett more. As you can see, we saw the uptick in receptions and targets when Mike Williams left the game. We saw 6 receptions, 6 targets, 30 yards from Gerald Everett in this game. This is a guy that had 60 catches, over 600 yards last season. He's going to be relied upon now. He's going to have a bigger role here, and he has a lot of athleticism and a nice size and speed combination. He's a big mismatch out there. Love Gerald Everett at 3,600 against the Raiders, all right? Some of these other guys are going to step up with the missing of Mike Williams for the rest of the year. So that's going to be Quinn Johnson. That's going to take time. But the main guy here, Gerald Everett, he was leaned upon last year. He'll be leaned upon yet again. All right. And then last but not least, our punt play tight end to go with. Right now, the team that's been struggling the most against tight ends has been the Eagles. The Eagles have been the worst against opposing tight ends, and that means Logan Thomas. Now, Logan Thomas, his caveat is injuries. If he's injured, then obviously, hey, it's unfortunate. He tends to get injured in the middle of games. But when he's healthy, when he plays, he is productive. We saw in week 1, 8 fantasy points from him, 4 for 43, 8 targets. He was the target leader in that game for that team. And then week 2, what does he do? 2 for 3 for 22 and gets in the end zone as well. He left that game early. So Logan Thomas is someone that can definitely have some big upside. He's going to be available to play in this game, and I expect Sam Howell to bounce back and find his buddy right here in Logan Thomas, all right? So those are going to be our plays for week 4. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Remember, guys, if you're a viewer and not currently a subscriber, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And don't be shy. Leave a comment down below, all right? Peace out.